Okay, good evening everybody. Today I will be demonstrating how to do different types of quadratic equations. This equation right here, the f of x equals a times x minus h squared plus k, is a standard form, and a is not equal to 0. The a represents the parabola and the k and h represents the vertex. When the a is less than 0, it points downward. When a is greater than 0, it is upward. So take this equation right here, and we're going to show you different steps to solve this and get graphing points. The first step is to find the parabola. And since there's a negative right here where a should be, is at -1, so it opens downward. And the vertex is h and k, so right here it's -1 and 4, but there's a negative out front, so that's 1, 4. And the x-intercept, what you do is you set your function equal to 0, and you have 0 equals negative x minus 1 squared plus 4. And what you do is you solve for x, and you get minus 4 equals minus x minus 1 squared, just like that. And what you do is you have to divide the negative out in front and bring it over, and that makes it a 4. And you're left with 4 equals x minus 1 squared. You square root both sides and you get x minus 1 plus or minus 2. What you do is you set x minus 1 equal to plus 2 and minus 2. You end up getting 3, 0 and -1, 0. And that's your x-intercept. The y-intercept, what you do is you take this right here, and wherever x is in the equation, you put a 0. So you're left with 0 minus 1 squared, which is just minus 1, and that's 1, and you have a negative, so that makes it minus 1 plus 4 is 3. So your y-intercept is 0, 3. And when you graph this, you have to use all these points that you get and graph it on a graphing calculator. When you have a different equation that's ax squared plus bx plus c, that's the quadratic formula. And the quadratic formula is x equals minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times ac divided by 2 times a, like that. And when you have ax squared plus bx plus c, the equation will look somewhat like this. F of x equals minus x squared plus 4x plus 1, where this is a and that's b and that's c. And all you do is you plug in where the b value is in this equation and the a and the c. And you end up getting, when you get your x-intercept, it's minus 4 plus or minus the square root of 20. And it's divided by -2. And then you roughly get 0.2 negative, 0, and 4.2, 0 for your x-intercept. Your y-intercept, all you do is you take this and put the 0 back, and that leaves you with 1, so that's 0, 1 for your y-intercept. The parabola is the negative right here, which is just -1, so it opens downward. And then your vertex is h and k. And what you do is, first you have a formula, which is x equals minus b divided by 2 times a. And you take the same numbers from this equation and plug it in here, and you end up getting 2 from that, and that's your first point of vertex. The second point, what you do is you plug the 2 back in this equation, and you eventually get 5. And the same way with the first equation, you take the graphing points and graph it on the graphing calculator. And that's how you solve a quadratic equation.